Hello, welcome to Life with a Twist podcast. If you're looking for a podcast that takes a raw and unfiltered look at life, then you've come to the right place. So grab a drink and get ready to laugh with us and at us and our invited guests at all the twist life gives.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us here again with Mel Marcy, hashtag Drinks at Mel's. And Mel is back with us to discuss the drink of the week.
Ladies, our drink of the week, and gentlemen, if you're here as well, is the POM Cosmo.
Cheers.
Cheers. The POM Cosmo is comprised of a lovely deep eddy citrus vodka, lemon, with lime juice, Cointreau, and in lieu of the traditional Cosmo with cranberry, we're using pomegranate because why not? And it is delightful. It is glorious. And you will feel like $1,000,000, but not drinking $1,000,000. It's perfect.
It is one of my favorites that you make. You had asked me recently, what are my favorite drinks that you make? And this is definitely one of them. I love it.
It loves you.
That it does.
I've never had the POM Cosmo before, and I'm not a fan of the regular ones because they're blech. Blech.
What's the blah you feel? Is it the cranberry?
Probably.
Oh,
It's probably sweet because so many of them are sweet. Like they'll do like simple syrup or triple sec or one of those things, and it makes it so sweet. And I don't like that.
well, and Cointreau is a very sweet liqueur. And if you punch it down just a little, you don't have as much. And pomegranate is not the sweetest thing. Cranberry, I feel, is sweeter than pomegranate. And so, but it also gives it the most enchanting color that you don't get with cranberry.
Do you think so? Deep Eddy lemon is something that I was just recently turned on to, and I'm making lemon drop martinis like I'm losing my mind. Do you think could you make this without the Deep Eddy lemon, and would it be the same? You
No.
made it just with just like regular Kettle One.
So if you did it with a Kettle One, I think you would still have to add lemon juice
For sure.
because it really does give it that punch that you're not going to get without it.
Well, it needs the citrus balance for the sweet Cointreau and
Yes, but you also have lime juice that you're using with it.
uh,
But it is that fine balance because you're using a citrus vodka with lime juice, but then you're adding that sweetness. So it is really a fine balance.
Is this something I could order at the bar? Like, is this a thing yet?
okay, I have a distinct opinion about this. I'm very particular about ordering a Cosmo. I almost want to know how that bartender makes their Cosmo because I don't like them sweet. I'm not a big fan of triple sec or just like in smaller quantities. But I don't think I've been anywhere. I mean, I know a lot of places have their signature drinks, but most places when you order a Cosmo, you're going to get cranberry juice. I don't know if pomegranate something everybody just stocks.
And that's the question. Do you have pomegranate juice? Could they use palm in lieu of cranberry? I mean, those are the questions. This is not a difficult drink to make, but it depends on if they have the components.
I mean, if you're at Delta Blues and Derek is there,
He will crush you a pomegranate
will crush you
with his own
Squeezing
hands.
all the little seeds. How do they even juice a pomegranate?
You'd have to
That
put it
is
through
a
a
very good
juicer.
question, but you
'Cause
would have to.
It's all those little seeds, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you'd have to put it through a juicer because then it would take out that little like tiny little seed inside the little juice pod.
It's very
Imagine if there's somebody somewhere just like bloop, bloop, just squeezing all the little pomegranate seeds. It would be relaxing a little bit, no?
I mean, it's gauche.
I mean, for like 2 seconds. And then when you got to do 50,000 of them, no.
I mean,
I'm Googling it. I want to see how pomegranate juice is
That's a
made.
good idea.
that's a good idea.
We
I
need to
agree.
Google that. The Googler knows everything. Well, Mel, thank you so much for joining us again. And we'll talk to you soon next week for another amazing drink. Hashtag Drinks at Mel's.
And as always, cheers.
Cheers.
Today's topic is sibling rivalry. So Reba and I have invited our siblings to join us on the show. I'm slightly terrified and excited. So I have my brother here, Preston, and Reba has her sister, Anne, and we are gonna play some games and tell some stories. But before we do that, Reba, do you have our twisted moment of the week?
I do. The twisted moment this week, we're all parents here, and I have Bree. She just turned 13, and we like to be proud of our children, and that's like the first thing that you think of when they're telling you something like, oh, I'm going to be proud of this. I can't wait. Like, I'm going to share this with my friends. I'm about to be really proud here. So Bree, she and I were driving in the car earlier this week, and she goes, oh, Mom. I'm like, what? And she's like, it's my 2-year dual-versary today. I'm like, what? This is prestigious. What's today? I don't even know. What's duo? What are you talking about? And she goes, it's my 2-year anniversary for learning French on the Duo app. And I'm like, that's fantastic, Bree. And she goes, yeah, but all I got is bonjour and baguette.
Well,
She goes, that's all I've learned in 2 years. I'm like, am I paying for this? Is this an app we pay for?
Oh,
Because
gosh.
I think we need to cancel it. It was so funny because I was so excited and proud, but then a little
Oh, right.
ashamed because I didn't remember it was her duo-versary, but I couldn't remember what it was.
You should have said congratulations for sticking with it.
I should have. I should have.
A word a
Right.
year.
But I busted out laughing, and she's like, what's so funny? I go, I was prepared for greatness, and you just said
You
all I
let me
got is
down."
bonjour and baguette. And I'm like, she's so silly. I'm like, you also know no. And she's like, what's that? I go, no, silly.
Oh my God.
She's like, oh yeah, I
Just
know that
thinking
one
too hard.
too. It was hilarious. Do y'all have those moments? Have y'all gotten there yet? Are y'all's kids old enough that they're bragging on something, but not really?
I'm still in the you poo-pooed in the potty, yay for you stage. So, Everly has to still run from the other room screaming, I gotta poop. So, that's where we are.
I just get a walking in the room backwards, bent over, and my clean.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
That's awesome. And Anne's over there laughing at all of us because she's an empty nester.
That's right.
We're like a bunch of chumps.
I mean, and the young ones that are coming up, I will be proud of literally anything they do and everything. And I say literally like that because my husband can't stand. Instead of he says I use it too much. So, but anyway,
You
look
use
forward
what
to
too
their
much?
moments.
Literally.
Oh yeah, literally.
Oh,
Husband. No, just kidding. Literally.
literally. We're going to count how many times you say literally on this
Hey,
episode.
don't worry. Reba can take that stuff out too because I realized I have such a bad habit of saying like and like.
And
so
like.
She just, yeah. She
I'm in
just,
like, and this
I told
weird,
her on one episode, I said,
You can literally use it in every sentence.
Like, really?
like really,
Really,
that's so funny. Well, like Rachel mentioned, we have two very special guests to hear today. Both that we've both been proud of and disappointed in and angry at.
laugh with, cried with.
Cried with. It was funny. I saw this meme on Facebook and it says, which one of your siblings carried the knife? We said Joseph.
Yeah.
Ashley.
We knew the answer. So we're so happy to have you guys here. Preston, we'll let you go first. Why don't you tell us about you and your life and your most embarrassing moment?
The youngest of three. Rachel's the oldest. We're 7 years apart. My wife Lene has already been on an episode. I have 3 kids. My youngest is 2 weeks. My oldest is 6. The middle child is 1. And lots of fun years together in our family, very close. There are a lot of siblings are acquaintances. A lot of siblings are close and don't see each other, but we're very involved in each other's lives.
Yeah, especially now that he moved to the same side of town as me.
And we're like the number one babysitters of each kid.
Yep, lovely.
See here, most embarrassing moment. I'm not one to get embarrassed too often.
No, which is
But-
a real, really
So you should be
terrifying.
embarrassed, but you're not.
Yeah, I just don't care.
Okay.
Like,
He makes the embarrassing moments on
Yeah.
purpose.
I'm comfortable with awkward. Usually I'm in control. So we went on a family trip to San Antonio, and we were going for breakfast one morning at this pancake house. That's a big deal up there. and over there. And so I had to go to the bathroom so bad. We finally get to the restaurant. At that point, we had 2 kids, and finally get to the table. I'm like, I can't wait anymore. That first cup of coffee hit, which made it even worse. So boom, I'm going, and I'm not paying attention. And so I see the sign. I go in, and I'm sitting down. Well, as soon as I hit the seat, I get a text, "Hey, Everett needs to go." I said, "Well, launch has already started. There's no reversing the process. Look, it's a long hallway. Just send him. I'll text you whenever I see that he can come in here." So I'm waiting. I hear the door open and close, and then I Everett, you in here? No response. I look under the stall, and I see someone has a
Oh,
seat.
please don't tell me.
And so I go, "Hey, that's not him. That's some weird shoes." And then someone else comes in. "Everett?" Nothing. So I look under, and someone's got their flip-flops. They got like multicolored toenails. But these days, no judgment. It's anybody, whatever. I'm still not clicking. Well, then all of a sudden, like my perception and keyhole of the whole situation goes like this. Goes like from not really noticing anything, and all of a sudden I'm texting my wife like, "He's still not in here." She's like, "Well, the hostess says that she went and checked because she has to hold the other baby at the table." And so all of a sudden I start noticing things on the wall. Like, why is there a small trash can on the side of this wall? What is the deal? And then all of a sudden it clicked. Like, oh no! And then you're like behind enemy lines.
My gosh.
And so I'm like, Red, I texted Lene because Lene's like going to the bathroom going, Preston. So I go, "Hey, I know why we're not seeing him. I need you to check the guy's bathroom. I'll be out in a minute." So she comes in the girls' bathroom going, Preston. I'm texting her, "I'm not going to answer you." Like, I'm not going to, "Yeah, I'm right here, baby. Be out in a minute." I'm not. Yeah, no, I'm not. I just said, "I'll be out in a minute." So then you're like behind enemy lines, like looking for the coast is clear. And then like you open the door and you realize it's just a wall of stalls, you idiot. Yeah. So then I just like get out of there, hand sanitize at the table, and my wife was like just rolling because there's not many instances that get me like that, but I had to go and I didn't see anything else. Like I could have sworn it went the right thing.
There are so many scenarios that could happen when that occurs. It actually happened to Timmy. So you guys are brothers in women's stalls. And Samuel saw him go into the women's bathroom, and Samuel went into the men's. And I told Samuel, "Why didn't you rescue him?" He's like,
I'm not gonna go in there and tell him. Well, then there's like this panicky feeling of like your kid's in transit.
yeah.
Do I just need to like shuffle out and make sure he's okay and shuffle back in?
Were you still mid-poop?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was lava. There's like several levels of.
The women had never smelled anything like that unless Rachel was in there.
No, they're like,
Right.
"There's a man in here."
Were you afraid of being called like a creep? Like maybe women thought you were being creepy?
Shoot, these days, people looking for excuses more than I just was like, wait till the coast is clear and get out of there.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
I kind of got sidetracked because this is the first seat I've ever seen that has the rotating seat cover thing that whenever you get up and flush, it changes itself out. You ever seen those?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
I was so just enamored with that. I'm like, "Oh, I'm taking a video." Oh.
Well, it was funny because when you got back from that trip, I got to read your text that.
Oh yeah.
Sent
Oh,
it's
back and
so
forth to each other
That's
during
so
the
great.
event. It was so good.
Oh man.
all right.
That's a good one.
Anne, let's hear about you. Tell us about your family. Tell us about your most embarrassing moment. Let's see if you pick my favorite. Maybe you weren't embarrassed, but let's see if you pick my favorite story.
Okay. So I'm Anne. I'm the oldest of 3. Reba's in the middle of our brother and myself. I'm 46 years old. I've been married for 25 years to the same man, wonderful man. We have 2 lovely children together. Our daughter has our first grandchildren, 2 little boys. And I just want to take a second to say that I'm grateful for an opportunity to start a new job. I've been off due to COVID. Anyway, looking forward to that.
Awesome.
She's just delaying getting to the embarrassing story. That's all.
I know
So,
she has good ones.
sis, I have to say, I mean, any day I go out in public is a new day of embarrassment.
True story.
But this one just happened last week, so I'm pretty sure it's not going to be the same one because I don't think I've even gotten to tell you yet, Reba.
It's a fresh one.
Preston knows. Well, I don't know if he was there yesterday or the other day when I told this story. So I get in line at Costco, and you know, you kind of check out what people buy, and they check out what you buy, and if it's something you both bought, you're like, "Oh, have you ever had that before?" Whatever. So okay, this is how it ensued. Lady in front of me, very athletic, has a baby strapped to her. That's probably almost 2 on the front, and the baby's facing outwards. So she's like, "Oh, have you ever had that coffee?" And I said, "No, this is, I'm just buying it for the first time." She goes, "I bought it too. My father-in-law loves to grind coffee and, make it fresh." So while she was talking, she threw and dropped her Costco card.
I thought you were gonna say baby.
I know.
So I'm like,
Baby down.
I'm like, oh, I said, "Let me get it." Okay, I had back surgery in October of last year, and it had been a long day already for me. And I got Tracy at the nail salon, did my nails too long. So while I'm bending over, hovering this far off the ground.
She's holding up like 2 inches is how far. Is that your face, your butt, your neck? What's
your hand?
Oh,
that's
hand.
my hand.
Hand.
I bent over attempting to pick them up. So my trick with everything because of my back is to shove it to my toe, my shoe, and then grab the edge and pick it up. After she painfully watches me for about 20 seconds trying to pick up her Costco card, she goes, it's really okay. I can get it. And she walks over to me because she threw it in my direction. Okay, so I was just going to bend over, pick it up. My back, I could not get to the ground with my hand.
Oh, it
and
just
she's like,
stop.
"Okay, I've got it." So she's trying to deal with this forward-facing baby, trying to bend over and pick it up because, I wasn't able.
Hovering there in the air.
Yeah, hover hands, trying to pick up her Costco card. And I think she saw I was able to get back up, but then we were both just humiliated. We couldn't even say another word to each other.
Friendship is
and
over.
She finished just checking out, and then me, and then I'm still there with all the people that saw that already. And it's like, I did the walk of shame for sure.
The 20 seconds felt like eternity.
Oh yeah, it did. It was, it really was embarrassing. Sometimes you laugh at stuff like that, but it's like, it's funny after the fact, but when it happened, I was like, oh my gosh. Like I'm red even thinking about it right now, but.
I get that way when I say hi to people. I'm like, why did I do that? Why?
Really?
Why?
Wow.
Why did I say hi?
I think you're so sweet. That's odd. Have you had people react poorly to you saying hi, or?
No, I just have regrets because I didn't mean to say hi.
Oh gosh. Because it goes
It's your panic action or their eye drop.
Hi. Yeah. Hi. Yeah. Hi. I hate, Anna, that was your most embarrassing story because
which one would you like to hear?
I surely know that is not your most embarrassing story.
Well, what was it?
I'm gonna tell it. She calls me one day and she says, "Reba, I need to ask you a question." And I go, "Okay, first, are we telling each other the truth or are we lying?
No.
What are we doing today? How's it gonna be?" And she's like, "Tell me the truth." I said, "Okay." She goes, "Do you think I am gullible?" And I'm like, "Yes. Yes." And she goes, "I didn't even finish." I go, "It's just yes. Like, yes." She goes, "No. Am I gullible to the point that I could put myself in danger?" I said, "Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yes." And she said, "Well, you see, what had happened was I was at Walmart and I was in the storage container aisle. And I was like, and someone almost shoved you into a storage container and abducted you." She's like, "No, look at her. She knows. She knows." She's hiding her
covering
face.
her face with a blanket.
Have you heard this story, Preston?
No.
You're gonna love it so much.
Okay.
I'm
I'm
so
gonna
excited.
try to give the abbreviated version, not the end version, because it lasts a minute. It was worth it. And she's like, no. She goes, I'm standing there and I'm looking in the storage container section to get some bins. And this guy's walking towards me and he kind of has like this bottle in his hand. And it looks like he wants to talk to me. But then he thinks to himself, no. And so he just passes her up. And at the end of the aisle, he turns back around and looks at her and they make eye contact. So he talks to her and he says, hey, I'm a podiatry student and I'm working on my podiatry degree. Do you mind if I take a picture of your feet? She says, oh yeah, sure. And I'm like, did you have on flip-flops? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. And so she goes, so then, has Keith heard this story, Ann? Because I know I'm on speaker.
He has.
I'm about to get a surprise. Okay. So then they're talking and visiting as only I can imagine Ann would. Because I don't care about anybody's groceries. I'm not talking to you. Like, we're buying the same thing.
Y'all are like polar opposites.
Good luck to you. Like, I'm not telling you if I love it or hate it. So then he's talking to her more and he says, do you mind if I touch it? Sure. Yeah,
And the
sure.
answer in that situation, no matter what he's talking about, is always no.
It's
Okay.
no.
No, the answer is for $100.
Exactly. So then
Next time.
she goes to hold her foot up and she's short and she like falls over a little bit. And so he helps her get situated and then he touches his foot and does something with Febreze or something. There's a lot of stuff going on. And so he's touched her foot. He's taken a photo of her foot. He's touched her foot. He's like, I might as well go to third base. Like, I might as well go to third base. Then maybe I'm going home. And he says, would you mind if I smelled it?
That's so freaking weird.
Yeah.
When did the light bulb go off?
I still believe he's a podiatry student.
So
Right.
she says, yeah,
That's what you
sure. So she said he's like 6 feet tall. And so he has to kneel down. And so he kneels down and she goes to lift her foot up. Well, she falls again because she's unstable because she had back surgery. Well, when she fell, she kicked him in the face with her foot.
That's what he gets. That's what he gets.
So he helps get her situated and then he smells her foot. And so they're standing there because he wants to make it to home. But all of a sudden they hear, excuse me. And they both turn around like the cats that ate the canary. And there's a Walmart manager catching them in the act. And says, sir, we're getting a lot of complaints about you.
Not for man.
Not for man.
Oh,
We're gonna need you to leave. Okay. And that's embarrassing. And so she says, sis, would you have let that happen? And I go, no. If he would have even looked at me, I would have been like, no thanks. And I would have left the aisle and I would have never come back to that aisle.
Oh gosh.
No kidding.
Because he spoke to me.
Funny.
And so I told her, I officially want a job at Walmart being the people watching the cameras.
No
I didn't know
kidding. Oh
this
my
was a fun
God.
job until now. This might be
Yeah.
my dream job.
It'd be
Something just came across my phone with some lady trying to shove a chainsaw down her pants.
Oh Lord.
at Walmart.
Yeah, at Walmart.
At Walmart. Oh, okay. Wasn't on. My mind went a lot
Oh,
of
it wasn't
places,
on.
Preston.
What was it on? No, it was off.
It was up in the box. My mind went the wrong way.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Goodness.
So the moral of the story is, and
If you wanted to do something, just tell Ann you're a podiatrist.
That's true. That's true. She called me about a week later and she's like, hey, what you doing? I go, I'm scrolling the TikTok to see your foot smelling situation at Walmart.
Dark
And she's
web.
like, are you really? I go, literally about once a week I search for people allowing me to smell their feet at Walmart.
Oh my gosh.
And that's not your most embarrassing moment? Were you embarrassed?
No, I was embarrassed.
Oh, you were.
Because he's a podiatrist.
I wasn't embarrassed.
You weren't?
No,
When you fell, were you?
no.
the second time you fell, were you?
No, probably the only thing that was embarrassing is maybe the way I held on to the end cap so it didn't fall. Maybe it looked a little posed, like
Come smell me.
I paid him for this. I don't know.
You were voguing.
I was voguing.
You weren't embarrassed when the manager came over?
Mm-mm.
No?
No, I saw that once. Manager comes over, says I can smell the other one.
Oh, funny. Well, we are gonna now do a how well do you know your sibling segment.
Well, you got to tell an embarrassing story about her. What about mine about Rachel?
Oh, do it. Let's do that now.
So
Yes.
the only one that comes to mind is whenever she just had Emerson or Everly, and we're in College Station. We're at Mom and Dad's house, and she was tired. My story. She was tired. It's new mom. Every couple hours you're breastfeeding. You're tired. You're still healing. All that stuff. Y'all know more than I do. So she was out of it. Okay, so all of a sudden, like, we're on the living room. It is at night, probably about 8:00, and she had a baby, and all of a sudden she just like pops up and goes, oh, "Where's the baby? Where's the baby?" Like, Rachel, she's on your tit. Like, oh.
Yes.
I was tired, and I've always had dreams that I would lose her. Luckily, she's 7, and thus far I haven't.
Where's the baby?
Oh,
Where's the
7,
baby?
Rachel. Oh my gosh.
I
was tired.
I have to tell you, Preston, that you guys are very much in sync because Rachel has shared that story with us on the first podcast.
Well, good. I knew it was safe. Like, that's the right amount of embarrassing.
Right.
The right amount of embarrassing.
Yes.
Oh, so now I guess since that, like, we've heard that story before, Rachel, as we go through the episode, maybe you can think of something to share about Preston that's very embarrassing. Okay. All right, Anne, do you want to share my most, like, what you think I would be really embarrassed about, a story?
It's kind of a general, it's not like a story that I can think of, but it's something. So those are like one and done, right? Okay, we had that moment. If I want to have embarrassing moments with my sister throughout eternity, I will drink my Lanta and eat whatever I can that makes me extremely gassy. And I will ask her to go to the mall or anywhere, and I will pass gas. I will say something random. Like, I can create these at any moment that I want. Or I can go, oh my gosh, Reba, she's shoplifting over here. That girl will make a beeline for this. She's just putty in my hands. Okay. I can have a moment anytime I want. Or I go, oh my gosh. Oh. And I mean, the minute like any of that comes out, she starts, she just.
Before she even knows what you're going to say.
Yeah. Oh, yes, she does. She knows. I'm about to tell somebody she's shoplifting or she's peeing in the corner over there and just sick people on her for random reasons. Look at her. You see how humiliating
not very, not very people-y.
No, exactly. You think one of these days she go, yeah, I did. So what? And then turn the joke on me. She probably will now that I've told her that. But
I took her to the Frisco Mercantile. I have regrets. We went to the Frisco Mercantile. It's like an antique store, and she was like a freaking bull in a china shop. She's knocking shit over.
True.
Like, whole things are crashing.
Well,
She's
I have
talking
this
to
purse
strangers,
that I'm not used
and I'm
to,
like, this is not what we come here for. You don't come
Yeah.
to talk to people.
And she'd like pick stuff up behind me. I was that day like a bull in a china shop. Yeah, my purse. But it's the, you know what? It's the retailers. It's the retailer's fault because they try to pack their booths so full. Yep. You can't fit 2 women in one booth. You know, things are gonna fall. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, the aisles were pretty wide, but you were just.
It's just me, huh?
Was over here. I'm like picking up everything that she's.
That's true.
Down. A couple times I just walked off like I didn't know her. I just ran.
Mm-hmm. She did.
Okay, let's play Who knows their sibling the best? Let me get the questions. Okay, Preston, what is Rachel's favorite movie?
Mystic Pizza.
Yeah, that is
Rachel, your
that
favorite?
movie. Yeah, honestly, I'm not a movie watcher.
That's the quickest way to get her to fall asleep.
It is. They won't even let me pick when it's like family movie night, and they're all like, "Hey guys, let's decide on what to watch." They're like, "Rachel, you don't even get to pick. You're out. You're gonna sleep."
The first 10 or 15 minutes, she's done.
And what's my favorite movie?
The Lost Boys.
Yes, always and forever. Do you guys know that movie, Preston?
Oh yeah, it was my first scary movie that my cousins forced me to watch as a kid.
Oh yeah.
I am familiar, have not seen it.
What? What?
It's a cult
For shame.
I'm not into cults.
I'm the head of one. No, I'm just kidding.
To watch.
Okay, Preston, what is Rachel's favorite ice cream flavor?
I think we went to Cold Stone not too long ago. I think you got some chocolatey. I don't know. Cookies and cream, mint. I don't know.
What's your favorite, Rachel?
Pecan
The
rum.
mocha almond fudge.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Baskin and Robbins. I was gonna like. You have 31 more guesses.
No. You have to justify your choices. I'm just saying, where's their Baskin Robbins?
Right by my house, which is right by your house. So there's that.
I didn't know those are still around.
I'll take you, don't worry.
I didn't know those are still around.
Oh, that's funny. And what's my favorite ice cream?
Chocolate.
No, cookies and cream.
I almost said cookies and cream, but I'm like, the last few times we've been together, you've gotten chocolate.
That's,
I think. I mean, when we're out, you get chocolate, like mint cheese
Just
or
go
whatever.
just go with it. It justifies your answer.
But no, yeah. I mean, I guess.
no.
But yeah, cookies and cream. Okay.
Cookies and cream. Okay, Preston, what's Rachel's favorite music type or band?
Oh,
Now we're
Yacht Rock.
Yacht Rock.
Yacht
Right on.
Is
So
that
that's
right?
like 70s.
Oh,
That's
70s.
like the station I listen to. It's all 70s.
That's specifically like her go-to playlist when you're in the pool or something.
Okay. All right. Yacht rock. Okay. Have you ever been on a yacht, Rachel?
I've been on a decent boat or two, but I wouldn't call it a yacht.
Preston, what are you laughing at? I see you smiling.
No.
Okay. All right.
We're gonna have to find like a blow up yacht for Rachel to get on in her pool.
Oh, perfect. My own yacht.
Your own yacht.
Yeah. And what is my favorite music type or band?
Country.
What?
Garth Brooks.
Garth
Reba
Brooks.
McEntire.
Yeah, all of it.
That
The
kind
Judds.
of genre. I mean, yeah, that
The
kind of.
Judds. Oh man, yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Preston, what did Rachel want to be when she grew up?
The boss.
Is she?
She takes command. That's what a beige grew up.
I'm not bossy. I'm a leader.
Oh, that's a fine line. I don't know. I don't know.
We are 7 years apart. So
Oh, y'all are. Okay. All right.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
It depends on when in my life you ask me. Like, I definitely wanted to be a businesswoman. I don't know. It's kind of general, but.
Entrepreneur.
And what did I want to be when I grew up?
I believe an attorney.
No. Close.
A judge.
No.
Pediatrician.
No. No. No, I wanted to be an FBI agent.
Yeah.
When I grew up. Recently, Bree heard that that's what I wanted to be when I grew up. And so a couple days later, after she heard that I had wanted to be an FBI agent when I grew up, a couple days later, she came to me and she said, "Mom, I'm sorry." And I'm like, "For what?" And she was like, "You can't live your dreams." And I'm like, "What?" And she was like, "I went and did some research on becoming an FBI agent, and you can't be over 35.
Jeez.
She was
discrimination.
She's like, she was so sad.
Aww.
She was a little bit teary-eyed because
she wanted you to have this dream.
And I was like, well, I am slightly disappointed that, I thought maybe in my 50s. Rachel, you said that you and Preston are 7 years apart. Anne and I are what they consider Irish twins. We were both born in the same year. So she was born in January of the 1900s. 1900s. He thinks that's so long ago, like 1975, the 1900s, like to be born. And I was born in December.
The closer those dates.
Yeah. Now you'll have a middle sibling. What is the age gap between the middle sibling?
So Ashley and I are 15 months apart.
Okay.
And then 6 years in Preston. Yeah. She and I are, back to back.
Yeah.
My youngest two are like 16 months, 17 months. I think it's 17 months.
So did Preston tell you what I said to him when we were talking about his little girl?
No.
And I said, we're talking about her features and being big or whatever. I said, I don't know, but with I know she's going to be stuck up. She has the cutest little,
tiny little.
It's so small, but it's just such a unique little shape.
That's called a button nose, okay? And
button nose. Beautiful.
There's like a whole derail.
Yeah, Ben Franklin.
Yeah. Bree actually has, Preston, you'll appreciate this. Bree has the picture, the photo of me on her phone is Ben Franklin, because she thinks when I do my hair like this that I look like Ben Franklin.
Wow.
No, I don't. Do I?
I need to
No.
I don't. I'm not
Reba,
seeing it.
I swear, if your hair was gray, it would be. I mean, you are his doppelganger.
No, Ben Franklin.
Yeah,
Ben Franklin.
Yes.
Let me look up
100%. Yes.
Okay, I'll look at Ben Franklin right now. And I kind of, try not to get offended when I see my missed call on her phone and it's a picture of Ben Franklin.
Quick, somebody hand me 100 so I can see.
Not getting it. Not feeling the Ben Franklin vibe.
Isn't that funny? Yeah.
Your hair looks amazing, though.
It does.
Thanks. Did Ben Franklin have caramel highlights? I don't think so. Oh gosh, yeah, I see it.
Oh wow. You know what? I told you. Yeah, if you just dyed your hair.
Look at that.
That's ridiculous.
No, hold on. Wait, don't leave it there.
Maybe when Ben Franklin was younger.
Yeah, because that helps, Reba.
I don't know.
I don't see it.
And sometimes she just comes to sit on my lap and she'll just pull my hair back and go, "Hi, Ben Franklin."
But I think what it is, really, Reba, is the eyes, because he kind of looks like our dad.
He's pissed off.
Speaking of pissed off, this is a derail and then we'll go to flash round. Yesterday, I got into a parking snafu and it was right outside our door of our townhome. And so I come out and get in, but what the person who got into the parking snafu with me didn't know was I was PO'd at Nelson and it just slammed the door. And then I come get in my car and she's like, "Back up." And I put my sunglasses on and I'm like, "You back up." Like, I'm mad.
Oh my God.
Backed up. So I'm like,
she did?
In my sunglasses. Yeah. I laughed with Nelson later. I was like, she had no idea I was coming pissed.
Oh,
coming in hot.
So let's play the flash round. Rachel, do you have the questions?
I can't buy these because they don't say my ears are too little.
They're smaller rubbers.
This doesn't help.
The smaller rubber is going to use them. I require the large one.
Okay.
So what is this? Do we just answer out?
Yeah, just blurt it out.
Okay.
This is everybody playing, or is it just y'all two right now?
Just you and Anne about all, your siblings.
Okay, got it.
Who is better at keeping a secret?
We're both really good. Huh?
Are y'all both good? Preston, what's your answer?
Yeah, we're both good.
Both good. Okay.
Who has a weird habit?
Reba.
Well, Reba's pretty quirky.
Really?
You travel with your own coffee pot to my house.
I mean,
what is the coffee pot? What's special about that coffee pot that you can achieve with your crap pot?
There's nothing wrong with it, but I just know you can never be too safe. Like,
well, once you get it dialed in, I understand.
Yeah. Well, and like,
she's really not that dialed in. She's just basic.
No, it's just I drink
coffee
a lot
game
of coffee,
is basic, Reba.
and I feel bad for drinking a lot of coffee at people's places, and sometimes they don't have a lot of coffee, so I'm like, I just need to be prepared.
Also, she's a Boy Scout. She's just always prepared.
Yeah,
just always prepared. And what's a weird habit, Anne, that you think I have?
Well, there's two habits that I could think of that you.
Oh,
have.
wait! No, I don't want to answer this. Never mind.
Nobody I've ever seen in my life picks their nose with their index finger, except my sister. I don't even know how to do it.
Wait, hang on. That's this finger?
This
What?
That's your
Pointer.
pinky finger. I do
pointer.
that. That's not,
What do you pick yours with?
My thumb? Hello?
What? That's the weird habit.
that's a weird one, Ann.
No.
Yes.
Is this finger really the hard one? No. For this nostril, I use my left. For this nostril, I use my right.
He's
I've
an
never heard
ambidextrous.
Never heard that.
That's a weird one.
You're lying. I
The
thought
pointer,
everybody
the
picked their
pointer is the
nostril.
regular normal.
That's
No.
a regular booger picker.
No.
Yes.
If
I
you
can
want to get
breathe
it in
past my
one
thumb.
swoop, all the
swoop.
boogers, the ones on the inside, the outside, and up at the hole, you use
I have
the
longer nostrils than you. I need to get up
My
in there.
thumb,
No.
my thumb plugs up my nose.
My
But I
nose is
go
too
for
small.
speed. Okay, if I'm coming up on a car, I need to be able to do this, and I can just get
I'm
it
not-
out from under my nail for
I'm
the
not
rest
built
of
for.
the ride.
I'm not
and
built for
nobody
speed. I'm built for.
knows.
I'm built for experience. I want to go in there slowly, get it all,
Oh,
enjoy every
wow.
second of it.
Stop. I don't even want to talk about this with him because he is disgusting. He picks a booger and then he
Listen,
will show it to you.
Sometimes they're dry.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes.
Man.
Look, if they're really milky, and that's
I gotta change this subject. I can't.
Hey, we were talking about you yesterday, Rachel.
What?
Because I was, Preston, what was I showing them? And they're like, oh, we were looking at pictures of Aunt Pauline's arm when she fell.
Yeah.
And Aunt Kathy's like, Rachel's out. She cannot handle
I'm
anything.
out. Nope.
That's
Man,
Nope. I
crazy.
can't.
my son's the same way. They'll be like eye commercials, like, "Do you have red and scratchy eyes?" He's already on the couch going.
Oh, how sweet. Oh, my goodness.
But I mess with him because of that.
But yeah, if you just walk up and go, "Hey,"
Start touching your eye. He starts going.
Oh, my goodness. That's so precious. He's
Well,
empathetic.
his empathy, yeah, his empathy.
Well, Reba.
Reba's
what's some of her
other
weird habits?
quirk,
Pick her nose on his phone.
her other quirk, which I guess it really isn't a quirk. Maybe I'm just scared. Maybe I watch too much scary stuff. Because when I was at her house for around Bree's birthday, I went in to go to the bathroom and it's pitch black in there. Like I couldn't see my hand in front of my face. There was no night light, no blue light coming off of a
You know,
wireless
there's a light
toothbrush or whatever. She's in the tub
in the pitch black.
in the pitch black.
No,
I
it's look. That's
you ever
called a
had that-
cheap deprivation tank. You
yeah.
turn off the lights. You get in there under the water, a lot of Epsom salt. You float around.
But the thing is, am I the only one that still thinks my bathtub water is connected to the deep blue sea and that a shark will come?
Yeah,
From
but it
the
goes the other
plumbing?
way.
Y'all don't ever feel that way?
The
The
only
shark
thing,
can't come through a drain. I don't.
No, but in my mind won't let me relax on my back in a body of water that's still connected to the Atlantic.
No. That's not what wigs me out. I'm not one to get wigged out. What wigs me out is when I sit on a toilet because I've seen too many videos of snakes underneath. And for a girl sits down. Okay, a guy sits down. You're dangling bait. And so sometimes I'm like,
Oh Lord.
the only thing that sometimes I get scared of in the bathtub, but it's only when I like go under the water, is Freddy Krueger.
Reba, I was about to say that.
Sometimes.
Okay, listen to what Reba and I used to do because we weren't allowed to watch stuff, but for some reason we were allowed to watch these 3 movies that were horrifying, and that's Freddy Krueger, Chud, and Children of the Corn.
Well, I don't think we were really allowed, Ann. Like, I don't think she knew.
After we watched Freddy Krueger, that episode where that guy's laying in bed and his arm comes up and sinks him under, me and Reba were like Charlie's Angels. We were back to back for the rest of our
Going
lives
in.
that we slept together. It was like nobody's getting stabbed in the back tonight.
I've never even heard of
Tomorrow
Chud. I had to
I'll
look
stab
it
you
up.
in the back, but no.
No,
I had to look up Chud.
I've never heard of it.
What?
Something underground dwellers,
Yep.
humanoid underground dwellers. Something.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's a
Those on the
scary
list.
movie. Just watch
Put those on the
it.
list.
Okay,
The,
let's see.
the only one that really messed me up is whenever I went to our aunt's house, hey Pam, and I got to like pick a movie, and it's called Event Horizon. Not about space movie.
Yeah.
Well, this crew was told that the ship was made to go like to the other side of space, go as fast as possible. What's the quickest point between 2 lines? Oh, between 2 points. Oh, a straight line. They're like, what if you fold the paper in half and then you can poke through? So like, okay, I'm in. And then all of a sudden you find out that it was made to go to hell and back. And so all this freaky stuff
Where
starts
Rachel
happening.
goes every morning when she gets up.
Yeah.
Right.
And so like I'm like 9, 8 in a big old house. My aunt and uncle have already gone to bed.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So you were in your head.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Okay.
Anyways.
Retty. Let's see. The next question is, who is a better decision maker?
I am.
Reba. Well, no, I say better decision. I would think quicker decision maker.
Yeah, I'm quicker. If we're just talking about like choices overall, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like I'm more decisive. I'm more of this like black and white.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mind you saying better, Anne. You didn't have to go back and like retract that statement.
Yeah.
Okay. But I am the better, quicker decision maker.
Picker upper.
Okay, who's more scared of horror movies?
Reba.
We don't know because you don't make it 10 minutes in.
I don't do horror movies.
This is
We do
Reba.
more.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, look, it's over. She never believes me say that. Why?
Because she doesn't want to pull it down and see horrible scenes.
It's not even horrible. I don't know what's wrong with her.
I don't like anticipation.
Yeah,
feeling
thrillers,
that you get in
yeah.
your belly.
But a lot of our life was a horror movie. Like we lived in the scariest places. Like we stayed in this bedroom. It was a house that my uncle owned in Louisiana on Ellis Drive. Reba, do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
And our mom would close the door, which is where the bedrooms and the bathroom was, and we'd be back there by ourselves. And one of us would be like, "Oh my gosh, I need to pee," and I'm like, "I'm not going. I'm not going out there because she's against the wall, the door, and she's going to try to chase us." Do you remember, Reba?
I do.
The lady in the hallway.
I do. I like watching that meme on TikTok, or I don't know if it's meme. I don't know what the things are called, but I was watching a TikTok.
What's the difference between a meme and a GIF?
Yeah, I don't know. But there's the one where the guy goes into the kitchen and he closes the door and he's like me at 2 a.m. when I go to get anything, and he's just like running and some dark something is chasing him. Have you seen that one? It's so funny.
No.
That's so true, though.
The only thing I get scared of, like on a consistent basis, even though I haven't seen a scary movie in forever, is if it's late at night and I get in my car by myself. I have to like do this.
Because you're drunk.
I gotta like look in the back seat.
Because you're drunk.
Check it out.
So it's more like is it more like in danger, like that creeps are out that time? Like, what are you pictures going to be there? Is it going to be a ghost, or is it going to be a guy with a heart on ready to kill you?
Smell your feet.
Smell your feet.
I don't know. I just like there's going to be somebody sitting in the back like with a big knife like
yeah.
I don't know.
Oh gosh.
Because that's what they showed us in health at school, was like that's what was going to happen. Someone's going to slice your Achilles tendon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What was that one where they put you in a bathtub of ice, take your kidneys or something?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So many horrors.
People can even come up with these gross movies makes me like slightly terrified. Why? No need.
It's terrible. Bree, she loves horror movies like her AA does, and she hates that I won't watch a horror movie with her. And she said, "Beg me, will you watch The Conjuring?" And I'm like, I can't. And she goes, "Okay, well, you don't have to watch it. Just lay there with your." So I literally lay the whole 2 hours with the thing, but I still kept screaming.
Yeah. If I hear it.
And after, I'm like, I am so stressed out. I'm never listening to a horror movie again.
No, I tell you. So also on our trip to San Antonio, we were going through Ripley's, believe it or not, the Ripley's Wax Museum. And so we go through all the different sections, and then they have like a scary section. Well, I'm just thinking like classic movie monsters, blah, blah, blah. So like, well, he's 6, and counting a little bit. Hey, if he starts to not like it, wants to turn around, we'll get him out of there. No big deal. Well, so we get in, and I think it felt like the longest section that they had, because they had like every fear They had the classic section. They had the Jason section. They had clowns. They had
Oh,
mummies.
wow.
They had like upside down, hanging by the feet people wrapped in cellophane. Like there's like certain sections where I just covered his eyes and we walked through. And like I'm like, okay, then you're like, okay, let's just get out of here. Then you're running. It's like a bad dream. The sucker just kept on going, more and more sections, and like
Preston.
yeah, I felt.
Oh, I need to
horrible.
find this place.
Yeah, no, you would love it.
Right across from the Alamo.
Well, then we got done, and part of like the pass we got, there's like another scary place. Of course, you have to have like a big talk about fear. Look, it's really just wax, and this is how it gets made to make him feel better. Well, then he was like wanting to like challenge and overcome his fears, so he chose to go into this other haunted place and did that like a champ. And so I wouldn't do it again. I still feel kind of bad, but at the end of the trip, he conquered his fears and did a lot better.
I think that's kind of neat.
Yeah,
I dragged Keith to one for Valentine's. We went to a
haunted
house out in way out somewhere in the woods. Yeah.
Well, that's different. This is the places off of I-45. At least that's in a very like, okay, I know I'm in a, but back in the woods, you start questioning.
Yeah.
I'm really jumpy. Even somebody at Walmart, if they speak to me, I will jump out of my skin. You know, people apologize.
Yeah, but I say my wife is.
I'm sorry, I'm very jumpy. So we took Bree to Six Flags for Fright Fest, and we got the pass to all the houses. And I got one reluctantly, knowing I'm not going in any of them. But we get to one, and everybody convinces me to go in. And so my child was actually giving me the pep talks about, but I used the same approach that I use with scary movies. And at first, I was with Nelson. And so I'm literally in Nelson's back. This is a shirt. I'm in his back like this. I can't see anything. I just have this like this, and I'm walking as fast. Well, these other bitches that were scared, they separated me and my husband.
Oh God.
Because everybody's screaming. Well, I can't open my eyes, so I'm gonna die. So I find Bree with my eyes closed, and she's brought a little friend with her. And so I have like Bree's friend smushed in between Bree and I, and I've got my eyes buried. And they're like, "You're choking us." Yeah.
Well, see, but you have to. I figured. I mean, I knew how those places work. So whenever we went in that second one with Everett, you're in a pack of like 10 people. I specifically put us in the middle. So the initial jump scares at the beginning, and then the like behind you. So you're just like
they chase you.
Yeah, you're huddled. And so we were like had protection. I mean,
that is not fun.
No, I especially on the second. I was like, just.
Now, if you don't have your kids, Preston, do you like haunted houses?
I probably would go to one every now and then for the fun of it. That's like with my wife. I could take it or leave it.
Die.
No, that's why I would take her.
Yeah, that's me. I can't. It's terrible.
It's more about somebody else's reaction than mine.
Yeah. The only thing I would recommend is that she wear a diaper or an extra long overnight pad.
Right.
Because every time I screamed, my scream went directly to my bladder.
I understand that completely.
Because I screamed so hard with my stomach. It was like, and then they wanted to put us through with one group, and I'm like, you want to be in the middle, like you can still enjoy it, but you're like, oh, they're gonna stab me with the chainsaw, kind of thing. And we waited for another group because we wanted to not be at the end, But there it was so dark, people were just running out and doing whatever, and they gave you this whole spiel that they're not allowed to touch you. Yeah,
but they can get right here. They can get like nose to like nose. As long as it's
yeah,
like your younger sibling. I'm not touching you. I'm not. Yeah, but you're still right in my face.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh, there's so many like just horrific incidences that have happened to me when I've dealt in the scary. It's insane. I try not to deal in it. What's our last question, Rachel?
Who's the more sociable?
Rachel. She's way one end of the spectrum. I'm on way on the other.
You're very You're social. You're very talkative
in small settings.
Yeah, but you don't.
I get annoyed going to like get-togethers. We're having the same shallow 3-question conversation 28 times. Hey, how you doing? How many kids you got? What do you do? Cool. Hey, how you doing? How many kids you got? What do you do? Ugh. Give me like 4 or 6.
Host big parties. So I'd say she's sociable. but she's not a social person.
She likes
Like I can
plan a
talk to
party.
anybody about anything, anywhere.
Yeah.
And when she can get them in her house and she controls everything, talk to them.
We went to a shower one time. It was with, I don't remember whose house it was at. And we walked in and Anne was hugging everybody. And so this one lady went to hug me. I was like, yeah, I don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Go hug her.
Yep.
Through an elbow.
Yeah, it was really cute. But I don't know if I told this on the podcast. Like when we went to Uncle Preston's funeral, Yale's grandpa's funeral, I had so many embarrassing, awkward moments. Like I thought somebody was going to hug me. They were coming in for the hug. So I was coming back from the hug. And then they're like, oh, my cousin. And they hugged
They
the
left
person
you
next to me.
hanging.
Then I
Yeah.
thought somebody was
They
waving
probably
at
thought it was
me.
weird that Ben Franklin was there.
I know. He's been dead for
Oh, that
years.
was terrible, Reba. You know what that reminds me of?
What?
Is that I think that happens to you a lot because when I was there and we went to that Shields place where you were like trying to get these sales guys' attention to get them to give shoes for Nelson, and you go raise your hand and the salesperson kind of raises his head like, oh, I see you. And Reba goes walking towards him as he's walking towards her, and he goes right past her to the person behind him. So then I go over and get these guys. I'm like, are any of y'all working in the shoe department? He came over to help Reba, and another guy was already helping her, and then he had the awkward moment with Reba, brought on by yours truly.
I like feeling highs, like when somebody you don't know is like waving, and it's obvious like it's not to you. I just, oh
Right.
hey, oh like they get all like weird about it. Oh no, I was actually but they feel bad.
I'm gonna be nice to you.
Reba likes to avoid awkward situations, and Preston runs into him like freaking
head on.
Well, yeah,
it's like
it's
like oxygen. I love it.
Yeah, I don't. I will share with you guys the twisted PSA for the week. This is a blast from the past PSA, but I was thinking about, Preston, that you have young kids, and so I'm going to help save you with the story. So one time, this was just a couple of years ago, Nelson and I were going to go to Las Vegas for our anniversary, and it fell around Easter time. And so Timmy and his wife, Rachel, said, oh, Mom, we'll watch Bree while you guys go. And my mom was there. And I said, okay, well, it's Easter. And so they were like, yeah, that's fine. Bree was fine with us going on Easter. And so before I left, I had boiled eggs with Bree, and we had dyed them and all of these things. But I was leaving her in the hands of, two 24-year-olds that are going to be hiding the Easter eggs and my handicapped mom. And so I told my son, I said, look, when you hide the boiled ones, remember where you hid them and make sure she finds them all. That was my warning. Don't hide them if you can't remember where you're putting them. And so Easter happened, and it was great. We come back. It had been a couple of months, and I noticed our cat, I put up an Easter tree for the Easter holiday, and I noticed our cat kept going and was like in the tree skirt all the time. And I'm thinking, what is back there? But I was too lazy to go investigate. And so one day I saw him come out, and he was like he was eating something. And I'm like, well, thanks, cat. Now I have to go investigate. And so I go over and I pull the tree skirt back, and there is like, I don't know, it's an Easter egg at this moment. Okay. There's this like thing, this like glob, and it's hard and like petrified hardness.
Oh,
and it's almost like circular shape, but not really. And it has like this like indention in it. And I picked it up, which is a surprise because normally I don't touch disgusting things because I start gagging. And so I pick it up because it wasn't that disgusting. And I take it to my husband, who is on the toilet taking a poo. And I'm like, I go in there and I'm like, Nelson, what is this? And he's like, where did you get it from? And I was like, I got it. Bugsy was eating it. I got it from under the Easter tree. What is it? He goes, it's a snail. I screamed bloody murder.
Why am I holding this?
Flung it across the air. It like almost lands in between his bait and into the toilet water. And he's like, what the hell? He goes, why did you throw it? And I go, because you said it was a bug. He goes, I didn't say it was a bug. I said it was a snail. I go, same thing. Like, same thing. And
Reba,
so
you're so funny.
I'm trying to dig it from like behind the toilet while he's still pooping. But at this time, I've got like the paper towels. And so I get it and I hand it to him. And he's like, what is this? And then it dawns on us. It is the petrified yellow inside of an Easter egg.
So the cat had eaten the outside part.
The cat had eaten, as it rotted, the cat had eaten it, and he was going back and keep eating it. And Nelson was like, why did you have to ask me while I was on the toilet? I go,
because I needed to know right then.
I'm like, you're always on the toilet. So why? That's why.
I'll be waiting.
But so the twisted PSA is, if you hide the Easter eggs, remember where they are. Yeah, that was bad. I told Timmy you had one job.
Them after.
Huh?
Count them before and count them after.
I know. He didn't.
That's smart.
So maybe, as he has a new baby, he'll remember where he hides all of the Easter eggs. Have y'all had any misfortunes like that?
Shoot, when it comes to bugs, all I have to do is just go, baby. And she'll start freaking out. Oh, there was one time when we were first married that she was eating like Raisinets or something.
Like one of my favorite stories about her.
Okay, she was like in the recliner eating Raisinets or something.
It was milk duds.
Oh, well, yeah, one had gotten loose, and so when she got up, it had like melted to her hip. And so I jack with her a lot. Okay, in this instance, I wasn't jacking with her. I was just like, hey, you got something on? She's like, what is it? What is it? Like, cut me off. I said, no, baby, it's on your hip. She's like, what is it? What is it? It's on. She starts like waking out. I said, baby, like, it's dark. Just reach your hand back there. And she's like, just get it. And she's like, starts flaying out, and covers go flying, and she starts freaking out. And then she gets done huffing and puffing. I go, baby, it's just a milk dud. She goes, oh.
Oh my gosh.
All you have to do is just say cockroach and she'll jump.
I will warn her that I'm going to scare her at some point in the afternoon, and she still, I'm telling you, I'm going to do this to you today, and she still gets scared.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. I love it.
Yeah, scaring people is the best.
I know. I was trying to think of some embarrassing moments about Preston. There were some like most of the things that I remember about Preston when he was really little. So there's several stories. One was like, so one of my friends had come to spend the night with me, and we were standing in the hallway. I think we were getting towels or something out of the little closet or whatever. And all of a sudden, here comes Preston running down the hallway as fast as he can. He runs his hand straight down her butt crack, screams credit card, and keeps running. And I'm like, all right, cool. She's never coming back. This friendship
he was watching Seinfeld.
Yeah. My most embarrassing moment involving Preston is, and this was at the point in my life where I was like, I hate kids. Because I remember when Preston was born, all of these things, but I'll never forget. I was probably 16 or 17, and I'm with Preston. We were like at a grocery store, and so we were walking out, and there was sunlight, and I guess I was walking next to the basket that he's riding in, and he says to me, why do you have a mustache?
Oh my
and then you just put the basket in oncoming traffic.
I'm like, I was like, that was the day I became self-conscious.
That was the day.
Well, I'm sorry, I do not remember that.
Mustache. Of course you don't, because you were so little. But it's still so vivid in my mind. You were the first to let me know I had a mustache.
Yeah, kids.
Do I remember last week my son tapped my tummy and said, Daddy's pregnant?
Oh, yeah, there was that. I forgot about that.
Oh, man.
I was going to say, do you remember the time that you were playing your little Nintendo game at Grandma's house?
This is the story I thought you were going to tell.
And you needed to poop, but you didn't want to go in or something?
No. So we're on our way home from Grandma's house, which is up in Canyon Lakes. It's a long time. And I left my game. And they're like, well, where'd you leave it? Grandma can't find it. And I'm like, oh, well, she had these steps leading down to the garden or whatever. I said, well, on the steps next to the dog poop. I'm like, next to the dog poop. So like years later, I tell Rachel, I said, I had to go to the bathroom, and I was not walking all the way back up to Grandma's house to go to the bathroom. I was in the middle of my game. It was like a Star Trek, like little handheld that, So I just pooped on the steps. I just pooped on the steps and left it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
That's
gosh.
terrible.
Life is
Well,
crazy.
speaking of, like Reba with the, the egg and the minute, like it could have been anything and she could have held it for eternity as long as he didn't say it was like a bug. Okay. So Reba was pregnant with Brianna. Like many times there's been instances where people are gonna, if you're around Reba when she experiences this, you're gonna go down with her. And Reba, do you remember when you were sitting in the driver's seat and we're looking at RVs?
We were actually looking at boats, and Preston and Justin
Boats.
were with us. We had gone to eat at Olive Garden before.
Yeah. And we were just sitting there waiting on them out there looking at boats, and a grasshopper flew in and landed. Didn't it land on your belly or something? She's like, the guy when that lizard jumps on him and he starts spitting and smothering? Yeah. That's Reba. And another thing, just to mention it, when she was talking about she almost gagged, or you get like your okay, stop, like you were with the boogers earlier.
Yeah.
So there's this, it's a TikTok, and I don't know who they are. I didn't look at a lot of their stories, but the man was just talking to the woman like, oh, when you get ready to put the cats out, be sure you close the door. His wife was like, stop it. All she had to do was hear him go,
Oh, we can tell you some funny stories about that.
That was so
it's called
funny.
Sympathetic gagger. We
Yeah.
watched like a straight hour
And
of
don't-
those. We were
Oh,
crying.
really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
and then also like don't let me find what your like button is, because
Oh,
then it's
gosh,
like
yeah.
it's just too fun. My father-in-law is a sympathetic gagger, and I had jacked with him. I'll take when I'm changing one of our children at his house. I've just taken like an empty diaper, a fresh one, clean, wrapped it up like it was full, and I'll just get done taking that. I'll pick her up and I'll just chunk the diaper at him.
Oh my gosh, Preston, that's so funny.
Yeah, that happens to me sometimes if I get too close to the bathroom and Nelson's in it. Or like if I have to give him, like he forgot his phone and he needs it.
Everett.
Oh.
Do you
Everett
Rachel?
got that gag reflex like that.
I got a video somewhere of calling him in. I'm on the toilet, calling him in, like, hey, bring me the such and such. He's gagging the whole way.
Oh.
You told him to bring you needed toilet paper.
Yeah.
So he's trying to like be helpful.
Yeah.
And the whole time he's like,
That's like those parents that wipe like Nutella on their kids.
Yeah.
Preston, have you tried that?
No, not yet.
I told you, I was like, I have to do this to him.
Oh, that would be bad. And then when the parent licks it, the child like loses it.
Well,
oh my God.
He's so like just not. I know he's 6, so all kids are not even 6, but he's just so like gullible. Like today, he fell asleep on the way home, and whenever we got home, and he opened his eye. He goes, "We're already home." I said, "Yeah, Everett, you missed it. We went through a portal." He goes, "Really, Mom? Did I miss it?"
He asked
She's
Mom, confirm what Dad's telling me. I can't believe him.
Yeah, she's like, "No, baby, we didn't go through a portal." He's like,
Oh, well, we really appreciate you guys joining us this week. We both love you both.
We both love you both. I love you 3.
Oh.
All right. Well, y'all have a great week. Rachel, I'll see you on the next episode.
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thanks for joining the Ann and Preston show.
Woohoo.
Talk to y'all next week.
Thank you for tuning in to Life with a Twist podcast. Stay tuned for the next episode on Fridays on all podcast platforms. If you like what you hear, please hit the subscribe button and maybe even leave a 5-star review. Follow us on Instagram at Life with a Twist Pod. We'll see you in the next episode.